Hey, Coop here. Welcome to 90-Second Recap, where I share a quick sports history lesson based on today's cap. Black History Month's wrapped up, but there's still lots of black baseball history to talk about. Today, we remember a largely unknown man who's the answer to a largely unknown trivia question. It's March 1st, and I'm wearing an Ebbetsfield Flannels Montreal Black Panthers fitted cap purchased in store at Lids. On this date in 1922, Charlie Culver and Franklin Wallace signed contracts with the semi pro squad in Saint-Hyacinthe, a city about an hour northeast of Montreal. Very little info about Wallace survives, but through the tireless efforts of Sabre member Christian Trudeau, the world does know about Charlie, who's pictured here on the left with Wallace on the right, flanking St. Hyacinthe's owners. On the whole, Canada was massively less racist than the US, particularly the Jim Crow South, so a couple of black ball players signing contracts in Quebec wasn't by itself all that newsworthy. What was newsworthy was the fact that St. Hyacinthe had signed a guy who played at the highest levels of black baseball in the States during the teens before making his way north. Yesterday, we talked about Bill Holland, who toiled for a number of clubs, including New York's Lincoln Giants. Bill first twirled for those Giants in 23, but a half decade earlier, Charlie Culver had played 6 games in left field for skipper Smokey Joe Williams, a through line since he was still at the helm in 23, his final season as a manager. Culver had played in Montreal in 19 through 21, so he was a known quantity in and around Quebec. Barely 5 weeks after signing his St. Hyacinthe deal, local baseball promoter Joe Page announced the launch of the Eastern Canada League, with teams in Montreal, Valleyfield, Ottawa, and Trois-Rivières. More importantly, Page, who was also a scout for the White Sox, managed to get the circuit accredited as a Class B league by the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues, or what you often hear me refer to as organized baseball. As the four organizations hustled to fill their rosters, the cream of the local semi pro squads were low hanging fruit, with one two-way player of particular interest, Charlie Culver, who signed with Montreal on April 22nd. And while Culver's signing may have been hailed in the City of Saints, the folks upriver weren't quite so happy, protesting that their star player had been poached. Charlie would see action in 6 games for Montreal, hitting .316 with 2 homers and 7 ribbies, while winning both of his starts, going the distance both times, striking out 13 against just 2 walks. He'd be back in action the following weekend for St. Hyacinthe. Lost at time is the reason why. Did Commissioner Page compel Montreal to honor St. Hyacinthe's contract, or did the Eastern Canada League bar Charlie because of his skin color? Regardless, there's no denying that a black man played organized baseball in Montreal in 1922, 24 years before Jackie Robinson suited up for that city's Royals. Culver would have a significant influence on baseball in Montreal throughout his life, including his time managing these Panthers in 1936 and 37. He passed away in 1970 and was inducted into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in 2021.